Good morning. It is time to make a second cup of coffee. It's a terrible angle. I'll move you guys up here. That's precarious at best, but it works. My car windshield got cracked this weekend. I can't get it fixed until Wednesday because that's when my insurance scheduled me for. So I have no car because I'm being overly cautious, I'm sure, but there is a slight possibility that I can make further damage if I drive it. So we're not going to do that because right now it's a solid hairline crack across the front of the windshield, and the thought of like the thing shattering on me is absolutely terrifying. Therefore, we will not be driving. I have to go to work this afternoon. Today is Monday, by the way. I will be working from home for a few hours. It's 9 a.m. now. At 2 o'clock, I have to go to campus for a training session that I signed up for before I knew that this was happening. And, you know, it's not like you could predict cracked windshields. It's the first time I've ever had a windshield just crack like that. Like, it wasn't an accident. It wasn't anything. It just appeared. My theory is that it was glass that hit the windshield while I was driving last week. There was one day when I did hear something strike the car. I thought it had struck like the side of my door. I'm assuming it was the windshield. So there's that. I think I also just switched from audio to earbuds. I don't know what the phone just did, so if the audio just changed, I apologize for that. So anyhow, I don't know how it happened. It was really one of those freak things that just kind of appeared. Like suddenly I went out to eat dinner on Saturday and there was this huge just crack, at least like 15, 16 inches across the front of the windshield from the corner up, and now I have to deal with it. At least luckily my insurance covers it. My boyfriend was all like, don't use the insurance. And I'm like, what else do I pay for it for? I had also just done like major maintenance on the car. So the thought of adding an extra like $500 to $1,000 or whatever it cost to replace the front windshield was not in the cards. So yeah, my insurance might go up a bit, but like seriously, what else do I pay for this insurance for? Like luckily I've only ever had to use it one time for a major accident, and knock on wood, that won't happen again. But that's what we have now. So I'm making my coffee. I just did a little bit of a workout because I want to keep my energy up today. Things have been pretty good health-wise lately. Like, I've made a couple changes to my supplement routine, and I think that it's actually helping my migraines. I think it's actually supporting my hormonal issues. Just slight tweaks in the supplement options that I take. Fingers crossed that this is a thing that's actually supportive and not just a fluke, but it more closely resembles the supplement routine that I used to take a few years ago when I was doing okay. And you know, over the years stuff has changed. One of the vitamins I used to take got reformulated, so it took a while to find something comparable, and I think I have. But yes, well, that is an experiment that will take a little while longer to prove my theory. I don't know. My body is a mystery and an enigma. So, coffee, and now to get to work. I don't know if you guys can hear the water going, but my anxiety is rising. I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but they're pressure cleaning my building because it needs to be painted, and yes, it does need to be painted. I do think that is not just an exaggeration. But the last time they pressure cleaned, the last company that they used basically pressure cleaned my windows, and my windows are not great, and water got in everywhere, and it was a nightmare situation. And ever since they started this process on Friday, I've been feeling my anxiety rising. They did not come over the weekend. I kind of hoped that they would have, you know, like invested in the extra payment to have them come over the weekend. That did not happen. So today I'm home, and I am afraid that by the time I have to go to work, this might be getting closer to my apartment. So I feel my anxiety rising, and I hate that feeling, but I feel like the memory of the last time they did this is kind of haunting me, because that time I was home when they sprayed one window, the front windows, and water started to come in. So I was able to stop them. And I wasn't home when they sprayed the bathroom window, and I came home to like a mess of mud, because all the mud that was on the wall just kind of like went in through the window. So PTSD nightmare from the last time that happened, essentially, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that this doesn't turn into another watery mess, that these people are a little bit more professional and realize that maybe you shouldn't spray into people's windows. And mind you, yes, my windows were closed. It's just that I have not the windows you can see through, like, well, I guess these windows too, but there's different styles of what are called jealousy windows, and it's essentially old Florida home windows. They, like, you roll them and they kind of open like this. So the older models, essentially they're designed so that when hurricanes come, these are supposed to be like the original hurricane windows. Obviously the glass is not shatterproof, but what I've read is they're supposed to adjust to the pressure of a hurricane, or at least that's like the science behind them originally. So like if you've got your windows like this and the pressure, you like adjusts it so it keeps your windows from like blowing out, I suppose. At least that's what I read. So they don't close properly. They don't like 100% seal. They're not great, but it costs too much for them to be replaced. And so that's what I have in my apartment. Every time there's a storm, I freak out a little bit because my windows are very much not shatterproof. But that's neither here nor there. My main concern right now is if they spray up, because these guys go like this, water just shoots right in, because it can, you know, if you hit from above, it rolls down, but if you shoot from below, it just shoots straight into the place. So I'm nervous, but I'm trying to just hope for the best and hope that it doesn't happen. My week is gonna look weird and interesting, and I think I'm just gonna be a little bit nervous the whole week until this is over. Plus, I'm really irritated with the plant situation because all the plants are inside and they had been thriving, but now they've been indoors for at least 5 days and they're not loving the experience. So there's that too. Anyhow, I'm trying to figure out what to make for lunch. I hate weird schedules where like my day gets cut in strange places, because it's like I don't really want to eat lunch early, but if I don't have lunch early enough, then I'll be driving in and having this meeting, and this meeting's gonna be long and boring, and then it'll be too late and I will be hangry. So gotta figure that out. Well, my heart is definitely racing now. The cats freaked out. They knocked down a bunch of stuff because they started spraying it's like an overhang that's over my apartment. Actually, I freaked out more because of the cats, because they like ran and like knocked into a bunch of stuff fell down, and I was like, what is happening? It's like an attack. I did intercept the guys before they could spray the windows, so luckily that happened. I didn't think they would get up here today, honestly. I thought they were still gonna be working downstairs. Oh my goodness, like my heart is racing because the cats really did freak me out. This little girl ran to my room and was brave enough to just stay here, but Figgy is under there. Figgy Lee, it's okay, baby. Figgy Lee. You can see his little gap he created. He's never had such a fright before. I feel like I haven't had such a fright in a while, but like I said, I was already feeling a little anxious about this, so my heart was already racing a bit. At least it's been kind of intercepted. She's very bravely emerged. Yeah, very you brave girl. Little girl, so brave. She was resting right by the door. Just being very cautious. Sniffing everything. Yeah, so brave. Yeah. I bought this bread because it looked nice, but I don't really like it. It's a little too doughy. I don't know. It's supposed to be like a sourdough, but it feels too doughy to me. I don't know. And I normally like a good doughy bread, but it just doesn't. I'm not loving the flavor, so I'm kind of disappointed in that purchase. I ate around it, and I had a little piece of papaya. Good for enzymes. And Sailor Moon. This kind of tastes like Sprite. I had one of these before. They're pretty good. More sugar than I normally care to have in my drinks because I prefer not to drink sugar, like sugary drinks. But I have like 6 of these in my fridge now because someone gave me some, which was very sweet. But now I have a collection and I need to drink them at some point. So the interesting thing is that even though they have a lot of sugar in them, they don't taste overly sweet. The water's back. Little outfit of the day situation. I have to put my shoes on, but this is it. I'm going to be picked up soon and just go to the office, do the thing I have to do. It's a 2-hour training, and then I will be done. But the room I'm going to is cold, so I'm wearing this. It's a few days later. The painting situation, I think, is starting today. There's a crane going up right outside my bedroom. I think the water is done. And my glass has mostly shattered. Well, it hasn't shattered, knock on wood. It has cracked like almost straight through by now. Oh, such a nightmare. I have my appointment at 3 today. I'm so drained. I've reached, like, I guess, max capacity of anxiety and stress, and I'm just so tired today. I also had to, I guess, extrovert a little too hard yesterday at work. I'm just really tired today, like super exhausted. I can't handle like this much stuff going on at the same time, but I'm really hoping that the glass will be done. I started reading reviews of the place and of course got nervous. You get people who have fine reviews and good experiences, you get people who had terrible experiences and their cars got damaged, and I just want this to be over and be able to drive my car and do what I need to do, because relying on, you know, other people to drive me around because I can't take my car out is always hard, and like switches up my schedule, makes things get like all weird and out of whack. I've gotten home really late all week. I've gone into work at weird hours. Like, my whole schedule's off kilter, and so is everything else. And I just want things to kind of mellow out again. And yesterday my grandmother also got like officially placed on hospice. I think at this point she's been actively in the process for well over a year now. But at this point there's some more concerning signs, and the doctor like just decided hospice is what we need at this point to keep her more closely monitored, so we know if she's going into a crisis or something. But that's happening. I'm debating, it's a weird thought to have, but I'm debating whether to put together a slideshow now, because I just don't know like what state I'll be in. I know I'll have to help my mom the day it does happen, and like what state will I be in at the time to put together a slideshow for a funeral, essentially. So, do I put that together now and have the pictures ready because we know it's gonna happen, or is that too weirdly morbid to do now? I'm probably gonna do it, but it's just a thought in the back of my head at the moment. I need to rest a little bit, and then I'm going to try to get something done before I have to take the car in this afternoon. I'm really hoping that if I take it in a little early, they'll maybe get it done, but there's no way to know. So yeah. I'm checking in on Friday. I think it's been a couple of days since I've checked in with you all on what's happening. Not much is happening. I'm disappointed. Let me come over here because it's a little bit too noisy over there. I think I'll turn down the music. I took the car in, got the window replaced. That was on Wednesday, and now I need to bring it back tomorrow to have the window removed, the windshield, not the window, to have the windshield removed and reinstalled because it sounds like an old mattress. That's the best I can describe it. I went back the day after and spoke to the tech. He was like, yeah, that's not normal. We drove around because I was like, look, I think it might be because it looks to me like the right side doesn't look like it's in the frame properly. But I'm not an expert, but that is what it looks like to me. And after much Redditing and checking of car forums, it's a thing, it happens. It doesn't look like it's within the frame properly aligned. But either way, what it sounds like is like the dashboard literally like bumping up against it. So like imagine an old squeaky mattress that like, that's basically what it sounds like as I'm driving my car. And it's coming from the dash. So he suspects that it is like, that the dash is like too tight. I don't know. That's what he thinks. I think it's the outside, because I noticed that even the windshield wiper itself is not like positioned properly. I suspected it was a windshield wiper cowl that was making the squeaky noise. I have learned these terms now after all my Googling. So there's a windshield wiper cowl. It's that black grill thing that is in the front of your car, like above the hood. So you've got like a little like rubbery black thing. It's got little openings so that water goes through, and the windshield wipers are attached to that. That thing is loose. He says it's supposed to be loose, which I understand. Like, yes, that thing gets removed, but it looks like it's literally loose. Not this thing isn't like attached, but it's like kind of out of place in my opinion. Just because like if I can physically move it with my fingers, that doesn't seem right. I used to not be able to do that. And then the panel that goes on the side of the car, like part of the frame that holds the window, there's like a side panel to the car. It's actually significantly, like a big chunk of the car. Like it goes, you've got like the side window, so like windshield, side window, it like goes around that whole area. And I'll probably pop in an image so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But that whole bit, I can also move that with my finger, which again, I am not super weak, but I shouldn't be able to move parts of my car with one hand, at least in my opinion. And that's what I can do now. So tomorrow he has to remove it. I don't know. I don't know. I know that, you know, once you do a repair, like you're basically like breaking the seal on a thing that you should never be opening. There was no choice. The glass was literally cracked almost all the way through. So it's not like I had another choice. Like I had to change the window one way or another. These are the thoughts that I've been ruminating on for days, because it's like, ugh, I hate this. Like, you know, should I have gone, you know, and paid out of pocket at the dealer, or, you know, is this the right thing? Like, I really didn't want to have to pay more after, like I said earlier, like I had literally just done car maintenance. So I had paid out of pocket enough money, in my opinion, for the next year or two, but that didn't pan out. It's just been disappointing all around, but I'm hoping that it'll get better. Another thing that I did notice, which, you know, it is what it is. These are not like original parts for my car's maker. Like you would have to go to the dealer. The insurance never supports original parts in that way. So, oh God, Figgy, stop attacking. So what I've read is these are called like aftermarket parts, or they have different words for it, but I think aftermarket is what the type of glass I'm getting is called. The cats have been rambunctious for the last few days, but it may or may not always be perfect glass. And I did notice that there's like a ripple effect, like a warping, again, on the right side. So I'm like, is the glass just bad? Is the glass poorly fitted? Is the glass just poorly made, and that's why it doesn't fit properly and is pushing things out? I don't know. I've never gone through this mess before. The one time that I had a destroyed glass, the car was also destroyed. So it wasn't a matter of replacing the glass at that point. It's just, you know, these are the things that are out of my control, and as I tell myself, like, I am doing everything I can within my control. These are the things I have to do. My options are limited. I'm already doing the things, but this is the way in which my brain just starts like obsessively thinking about an issue and like just spinning it in circles, and it wakes me up at night because I'm, you know, obsessively thinking about stuff even when I tell myself not to. It's just really hard, and I'm not even a person with like diagnosed OCD or anxiety, so I can't imagine, you know, having to live my life like that. But, you know, if that's you, if you're someone who, you know, lives with chronic anxiety or, you know, clinical anxiety, OCD or something, like, hats off to you, because it's you know, even just my mild ruminating is a lot. It keeps me up at night and stops me from, you know, just getting on with things, because I can't focus on much else when I keep thinking about all the things that are going wrong. That just seems to be a theme lately. The painting situation is another situation, which is why the cats are rambunctious. They have been terrified for the last couple days after they covered the windows. They're a little bit better today. They're actually here in the living room. For the last 2 days, they've been dashing in and out of the litter box and drinking water because they don't want to be in the living room, because I think they can hear the sounds of the plastic rustling and it scares them. There was also like the way the light shines through the plastic was kind of, I guess, freaking Figgy out. So they've been a lot, and they're a little bit more calm today, but nothing is progressing. My plants are dying in need of light. I've taken them outside today, at least for a little bit. I don't think anything is going to happen over the weekend, so I'm going to just take the plants out again, because my succulents are like, please, I need light, I need vitamins. The poor little things are just, they'd been doing so well. My plants had been thriving after a couple of like bad seasons. They'd really been doing well, and now they're not happy. And I'm not happy about the plant in my bathtub that I keep having to lift in and out every day. It's quite heavy, but can't control any of this. And we'll see. So wish me luck. I really hope that second time is, you know, like third. I hope we don't have to do this a third time or more, but like I hope that the second time is the one. And, you know, I don't care if it's aftermarket glass or whatever it's called. I just want glass that looks good, that doesn't have a weird ripple, that makes everything look like it's falling away, like an optical illusion in the right corner, or, you know, that is like pushing the frame of my window out. It would be nice. That would be nice, but it is what it is. I'm just taking this one step at a time because that's all we can do. So tomorrow I will take it to the glass place. I will let them do the thing again because it had to wait for the stuff to fully cure, they said, for at least 3 days, because if we tried to remove it again, it would make a mess. So I'm gonna let the thing be redone, and then I'm going to hope for the best. And if it's bad, I'll have to figure it out and call the insurance company. But for now, we do what we do. Here's one cat that has been in a state. Here's cat 2. And there are the plants being unhappy. They're succulents. They do not appreciate being indoors. This is the plant that I keep having to lift in and out of the tub every time I shower. It's quite heavy. The cats like the ferns a little bit too much. Little Mimi. To Mimi. The little Mimi cat. Fishy girl. As you can see, I have 2 of my little friends here. One of them is under the bed and refuses to come out. I think the last day that I recorded was last Sunday, Saturday maybe. It was right before the car situation got taken care of. They did have to remove the glass. It had to be completely redone, and it was fine afterwards. So at least, you know, luckily that resolved itself. But I don't know. I think it wasn't the right glass for my car. I don't know exactly what it was, but even my partner, when he saw it afterwards, he was like, yeah, that was a completely different install. Like, the results looked entirely different. The actual like fit of the glass, completely different, like night and day. The original glass almost looked like it was too big for the car, honestly. Like, it looked like it was pushing on the frame of the car. It was pushing down on what's called the wiper cowl. It's where, like I mentioned earlier, like the wipers kind of like fit in. That whole thing looked like it was like being pushed into the car. It was night and day when they redid the thing. Luckily, like, you know, they didn't give me a hard time or anything. They took it off, they redid it, and, you know, it took just as much time. I still haven't been able to clean the car because you have to wait a few days to wash it to get all the gunk off. But also, it's been raining and they're painting my building, so I can't even park where I normally park. So it's exposed to dust and wind and leaves and stuff right now. So I'll clean the car later. But that's one, you know, like, stressor off my mind at least. But meanwhile, these little ladies, yes, I see you, ma'am. They're here visiting, and they just came out today. They've been here for well over 24 hours now. They didn't want to come out. Now one of them has come out, but the other one hasn't, and I don't want to stress anyone out until they're both out. I can grab them. I'm very tired because they did not let me sleep last night. Between Mimi and Blackie, who's the other one, coming out, wandering around in the middle of the night. I have to leave the door open so they can use the litter box, because I hadn't planned on keeping them, so I didn't bring a spare litter box. And by keeping them, I mean like keeping them overnight. It's just supposed to be just a few hours of a thing. Mimi, come here, baby. She's just watching me. But I hadn't planned on keeping them here. Let's sit on the floor and see if she comes to me. Here's all my stuff that I have to sort. The house is a mess. Mimi, come here, baby. Here she comes. Mimi, come here. She's so sweet. She's Oreo's mom. And those who didn't know, Oreo is my cat who passed away. This boy is his heir. Unrelated. She's a sweet little lady. Anyhow, she's here. Blackie's here. I'm taking care of them for my mom, but I need to go back home and I can't catch them to take them back home. I'm hoping that Blackie will come out of her own volition and I can get her in. They came out in the middle of the night, but obviously I couldn't take them to my mom's house at midnight. But they're here now. So I was saying I'm very tired because I barely slept last night. I also had a very long day yesterday because in order to not stress myself out just being at home, waiting for an update on my mom's situation. It's not health-wise or anything, it's just like a complicated life situation that happens every so often. I decided to go to work and work at this like big event we were doing, so I extroverted a little too hard yesterday and now I'm exhausted. On top of the lack of sleep, I also had a migraine and now we're just, I'm gonna take the day off tomorrow to recover. Here's this boy. This boy, hi. So tomorrow I'm taking the day off. I'm just resting, recovering at home because I feel like after everything that's happened the last few weeks, I really need it. I have several things that I'm working through and my physical and mental health, as I've mentioned before, is one of them. And so I was like, I need the day off. I need to recover from this and I need to rest and get better. Just focus on some stuff. It's been hard to focus. Actually, I wrote a draft of a post I'm going to post on my blog. I haven't really updated my blog very much lately, but I would like to again. I would like to engage in that level of communication again. It's been a while since I've publicly written out my feelings. I'm trying to balance and not have a weird frame. It's kind of hard when you're doing this one-handed. Anyhow, I think I'm gonna wrap up the blog here. The vlog, not the blog. The blog will be on the blog. Links will be down below for that if you're curious or interested in any way. By the time that I post this, it will have gone up anyhow, but I am just kind of working through some feelings, and I think I'm going to create a series on my blog about that, just like feelings about my health, my body, my mental health, my lack of progress and stuff like that in many areas, and just stuff that I feel like I like to think through in writing a little bit better because it's a little bit too raw to just vlog about, but maybe I'll vlog about that eventually too, or do a sit-down video or something. But if you're curious, blog link is always down below. I'm not as great at maintaining updates as I was during the pandemic because that was a period where I actually posted a lot pretty often because it was just another way. It was an outlet. My blog has always been another outlet for whatever's going on in my life, and it's useful. It's as a tool to me. But yeah, so I'm gonna be posting there. It'll be up before this goes up. As you've noticed, the videos are always a few weeks behind. Sometimes just a week, sometimes a little bit more, just because of timing and scheduling and editing and all that mess. Anyhow, I will leave you guys here. Wish me luck wrangling these two very small cats with very sharp claws into their carriers to deliver them home as soon as possible, because I would really like to sleep tonight and I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I also don't want to stress them out, stress me out, end up in a worse situation than we are at the moment. So fingers crossed. See you guys later. Bye.